Hey everybody, welcome into Sports Live in the 215. Today we're beginning a new series on the channel and Podbean and on Twitter, on really all the platforms. It'll be called State of the Union, and this is the first episode. Really, this is just a monthly update on the five major Philadelphia sports teams. All right, so since this is called State of the Union, why not kick off? See what I did there? This first episode with those Philadelphia Union. Um, yeah. Um, or actually, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. Jim Curtin's team has made it to the playoffs each of the last, I want to say, each of the last 3 years. And if there are any Union fans that follow the channel, you guys can be sure to kind of correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's the last 2 to 3 years, and due to that, his best players and the team's best players, if they're his best players, they're the team's best players, obviously, but like his best players have gotten big deals from a lot of very prestigious European clubs. Um, so of course they, the of course like of course those guys got the bag and well deserved, but unfortunately the Union underperformed without all those homegrown stars, and it unfortunately cost Jim Curtin his job. So it will be interesting to see how they respond. I I can see Philadelphia being one of the highest sought after jobs in all of Major League Soccer. I mean, you make the playoffs each of the last 2 years, um, and you go pretty far in the playoffs. I think they got to the conference final a year ago. Maybe the conference semifinal the year before that. So they've steadily improved. I think the ownership of our soccer club just felt that Jim Curtin was not the coach to get them over the top, and I mean that could be fair, but also he lost a lot of talent to teams like Chelsea. Um, I think one of his star players went to Real Madrid. So I don't think you can solely put the blame on Jim Curtin. Yes, the coach designs kind of your team's offense in um, soccer or European football, um, but like you can't really put the blame on Jim Curtin. I don't believe he he's one of the best coaches in all of MLS. There's a reason. I believe he won Coach of the Year 2 years ago. And again, if there are any Union fans in my comments, you guys can correct me. But um, yeah, like he is one of the best coaches in all of Major League Soccer, and he's gonna be a coaching candidate that will be scooped up rather quickly, I would assume. Um, but yeah, it sucks to see someone losing their job, but I guess um, credit to Jim for turning that team around and getting them to a spot where everybody felt like they were a contender, and um, best of luck in wherever he goes next. And hopefully, the next era of Union soccer will be just as prosperous as the last one. Um, all right. With that being said, let's let's have the or let's give the Sixers their 5 minutes. So this team's 3-14, and I still maintain that that they'll be all right, and they just got to get healthy, and they got to just execute one play at a time. And I saw an article on, I believe it was CBS Sports, or CBS Sports. In the last like 12 years, only like 5 teams have made the playoffs when they've started 3-13 or worse. And the 2011 or the 2011-12 Sixers were one of those teams. So it's certainly possible. Obviously, we have a much different cast of characters now than we did on that team. Obviously, much better players, but still, I feel like I do feel like the Sixers can turn it around, and I'm excited to see if they do so. They need a little more production from Paul George when he comes back. They need Tyrese and Jared to continue to be a better version of AI and Eric Snow. That might be a little too high praise for a 24 and a 19-year-old, or 23 and a 24 and a 19-year-old. Yeah, like I think they can be really, really good. I like that pairing together. Joel Embiid just got to get healthy, and he's one of the most dominant players in the history of the game, which is really going to piss off Howard Eskins. So, I mean, I know eventually I want a job at WIP, but I stand by it. So yeah, Joel Embiid is the most dominant player in the history of the game, and Tyrese Maxey is a cold-blooded killer, and Paul George is just a great third option for anybody to have. One person that's really gone underrated is Gershon Yabusele. He's just been an absolute revelation in this time that Joel Embiid has been out. Like it's just been an absolute treat watching him play. He really hustles for loose balls, rebounds, and he does a great job converting second chance points. He's a solid shooter from outside. So I think I know a lot of the fan base hates him right now, but credit to Daryl Morey for watching the Olympics and seeing the talent on display from Gershon Yabusele. The Frenchman has been just he's been a revelation. It's a real it's so much fun just watching him play when he does get run. Yeah, it's exciting, and I one thing I really do not understand is the obsession Nick Nurse has with Kyle Lowry. Like this man has like a love affair with Kyle Lowry. I know he won a championship with Nick Nurse in 2019, but dude, he's 39 years old. Let the young guys have run. Like let the fresh legs have run. Let Kyle use his value as a mentor, as a leader, and there's value in that. Don't get it twisted, but it's just like he cannot do the things he used to do when he was in his 20s. And that should be pretty obvious to Nick Nurse, but I guess it's not. hopefully he gets the message, because it will cost him his job. And that's goes double for Eric Gordon, Andre Drummond, all the old guys. Just use them in a bench role. Use them in like a leadership role primarily. All right, that's what I would do. Now, with that being said, let's talk Phillies. The Phillies had a very disappointing end of the season. Like I've mentioned so many times, or I don't believe it's been on here, but I've mentioned it in conversations with people. I do not think the Phillies should trade Alec Bohm. I mean, the guy just does he have frustrating at bats and a little bit of an attitude problem? Yes and yes, but I just love his his temperament when it comes to, or his thought process when it comes to getting in early work in spring training, and even during the season, and he really works tirelessly to become the best player he can. And I know it's the big leagues; every player should, but I think Alec Bohm just takes his takes his game super seriously, and that's good, and that could be why he has some of his like that could be why some of his moodiness comes out, because he's so hard on himself. And I think it's up to Topper and the veterans in that locker room to say, hey man, like, loosen up. It's a kid's game. Let's have some fun. You're not always gonna be successful every at bat. I mean, if you fail 7 times, you're a Hall of Famer, and that's the crazy thing about baseball. Um, and I just think Alex sometimes puts a little too much pressure on himself, um, and so I obviously I like Mike Schmidt's analysis on like the Saturdays or Sundays with Schmidt broadcasts. Um, like maybe Alec could use Mike Schmidt as a mentor in spring training. Mike Schmidt does live in Florida when he's not broadcasting Phillies games, so maybe Alec could kind of lean on Michael Jack for some advice. And Michael Jack certainly drew the ire of Philly fans on more than one occasion. So um, that's someone Alec Bohm could kind of lean on um, for advice on how to like deal with that. You know what I mean? And um, I just I just genuinely like Alec as a player, and he seems like such an easy guy to root for. I I don't think he should get as much hate as he does. Should he produce more? Yes, he should. Should he be bandied about in like trade packages, or potentially just being cut? Um, I do not think so. I fully understand that I'm in the minority with that. I'm completely ready to get roasted in my cousin's bachelor party group chat for that opinion. But I just don't think trading him now is would be the right move. His confidence is shot. I just think he needs to kind of he needs to hear it from like Topper and Dave, like, hey, you're gonna be here next year. You're my third baseman, and like maybe hearing that would maybe hearing that would help him. I know that's not always Dave Dombrowski's style, but maybe hearing something like that would really, really help him. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they don't trade. Hopefully they don't get rid of Alec Bohm unless you're getting someone like someone ridiculous like a Garrett Crochet, who's a pitcher for the White Sox, or Alex Bregman, even at Alex's advanced age. Of Let me pause this. Actually, you know what? How old is Alex Bregman? Oh, he's only 30, so he's actually not that old. But again, I still don't think you should give up someone like Alec Bohm unless you're getting someone like a Garrett Crochet or an Alex Bregman. Because they're just ridiculous, and they would move your team up a tier. And I feel the same way about Alec Bohm as I do about Nick Castellanos. I know he can be very, very streaky, which is frustrating, but when he is hot, he's one of the best hitters in the game. And I think as Phillies fans, we're just gonna have to live with his cold stretches. I think yeah, I don't think they should trade Nick Castellanos. I also thought the move to keep Kevin Long was good. He's one of the best, if not the best, hitting coach in the game. I don't think you're gonna find any better hitting coach on the open market than Kevin Long. I mean, the Phillies' approach at times is sometimes leaves much to be desired, but um, when they're on, much like Nick Castellanos, they're one of, if not the best offense in baseball, and I just think it was a good move, kind of running it back with the whole staff, and man, let's see what happens. But obviously, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if it doesn't work this year, they have to try something else. But we'll see. And with that being said, let's talk Flyers. Your 11-10-3 Philadelphia Flyers just came off a big win against the New York Rangers yesterday. That was a 3-1 victory. Fedotov was absolutely fantastic. I want to say only giving up one goal on like 18 shots. So he was absolutely on his game, which is great to see from a backup goaltender. And credit who is the Flyers goalie coach? Credit I believe the gentleman's name is like Kim Thibodeau or something. Yeah, huge credit to him. He has both goaltenders who don't speak the English language playing absolutely tremendous hockey. And Tortorella said in his press conference yesterday following the win that like he just lets he just lets kind of he just kind of lets Thibodeau just freaking like run the goalies. He said he basically has kind of his own team, like, and his own team with the two goalies, and like, yeah, his that's why he's been around the Flyers for I believe 3 coaching staffs. So I don't want to do this, but I will give credit to Chuck Fletcher um, for finding him, and hey, it's working out no matter who's between the pipes. So yeah, that's always good to see, and these young guys are just moving and shaking, and they're just rolling up and down the ice. They're able to play free, fast, physical hockey, which is always a plus, and they're learning how to win, which is so great to see, because they just missed the playoffs last year, and if you don't think that, like, I'm gonna invent a saying that just nip that just uh that just nips it towards his ass, then you don't really know John Tortorella. No pause. But anyway, yeah, this team is learning how to win, and it's really gonna be exciting to watch the next 5, 10, 15 years of Flyers hockey, because the blueprint for sustained success is there. They just have to go out each night and on that sheet of ice and just go play. And we've just got to see what happens, and I personally cannot wait for it. Okay, so let me see. Union, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers. All we have left is the Eagles. The Eagles, of course, are on a 7-game win streak, and nice little heater for the boys. Ever since their 2-2 preseason, they've just been absolutely tremendous. They have done damn near everything well, except for red zone offense. But other than that, everything else has been absolutely tremendous. Kellen Moore and Saquon Barkley have just unlocked the potential of this offense, and with Barkley back there, Jalen really doesn't have to throw 30 to 40 times. He can just throw 14 to 20 passes and complete 9 to 14 or 12 to 20, and maybe throw a touchdown, and that'll be, or probably throw a touchdown, maybe run for one, and that'll be good enough. And then Barkley, what can I say about him that hasn't already been said? Just, oh my God. Like, if you were the New York Giants, how do you let a player like that walk out the door for nothing? And not just that, you let him walk out the door for nothing, right into the arms of your biggest division rival. Like, make it make sense. Joe Shane is, you better enjoy those paychecks from John Mara, because after these next 6 or so weeks, you're not going to be getting any more of them. So cash them out now, my guy. Enjoy it while it lasts. But anyway, back to the Birds. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, oh my God, we have the best receiver tandem in the NFL. And that is it's huge for any quarterback, especially one in a running offense like Jalen, because when he does have to throw the ball, he essentially has two number one wide receivers, but the difference being one of them is matched up on a number two corner. So we're still waiting to hear if Devontae is up for the game on Sunday, but we'll see if that happens. If it does, man, Nate Wiggins is in trouble because both Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins will be in trouble because it's not an easy it's not easy covering Slay. Not easy covering AJ and Devontae. Just ask Slay and Quinion in practice. And that I was thinking about this. That actually having Quinion go up against Smitty every day in practice, that just makes him a better corner because, like I've said, I believe Smitty is one of the top 32 receivers in the National Football League. Excuse me. So having him go up against Q every day in practice, it just makes Quinion better, and we're seeing the results of it on the field. Speaking of this defense, Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, these linebackers, man, they're playing with their hair on fire. And I was telling Tommy, who you guys have seen in the early episodes of the pod, that Nakobe Dean's my new favorite player, and his response was, "Why? Because he wears 17." And yeah, that might have something to do with it. 17 is my favorite number, but Nakobe's just been absolutely everywhere on the field, forcing fumbles, getting picks, or getting interceptions. Picks and interceptions are the same thing, but yeah, he's just been all over the place, and so has Zach Bond. Howie really needs to open Mr. Lurie's checkbook and just say, "How much do you want?" Because he is worth every penny, and maybe the reason that Howie is hesitating is because of what happened with Nigel Bradham in 2018. Following that 2017 season, he did not maintain form, to say the least, and it cost the Eagles dearly. They had to go bargain hunting for good linebacker play, like UDFA's like Alex Singleton and like I believe technically Ben Van Sumeren and etc. But yeah, we finally have two really good linebackers, and I'm sure that makes Vic Fangio happy, given that his last stop is in his hometown. And one stat I heard on the Eagle Eye podcast is the Eagles haven't given up, I believe it was 200 yards since the Phillies were eliminated from the playoffs. As we all know, Vic Fangio, huge Phillies fan. Maybe with them out of the playoffs, he was a little bit more focused, a little bit more locked in on his day job, which is always good. But yeah, there's a reason why Vic Fangio is one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. It's by plugging in guys like Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, and putting putting them in their best positions to succeed, and that's leading to these 7 straight wins where the offense does but doesn't need to put up 27, 30 a night or 30 a day for the team to succeed. Like they would really only need to put up 17 to 20, maybe 27. But this offense has been unbelievable during this 7-game win streak, and I'm excited to see where it goes. With that being said, I'm excited to start this new series. I really hope you guys enjoy it. This will be a once monthly series, so you'll get 12 of these a year. So this should be fun. I came up with the with this idea like just last night. I was laying on the couch in there, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna do a State of the Union Philadelphia Sports Edition. So with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, listening, subscribing. It really does mean the world to me. And with that being said, go Phillies, go Sixers, go Eagles, go Flyers, go Union. Have a great day, everybody. And this will be my last day recording in this setup because tomorrow I'll do my quick hits from my phone. So yeah, this is the last day I believe I'm going to be recording in this setup. So thank you guys for listening to all these episodes. I really appreciate it, and have a great day. Oh.